Apple has released its first new product in 9 years. The Vision Pro is a virtual reality headset that allows users to select content using their eyes, hands, and voice. The device includes an exterior display that allows the user to view the outside world, but then goes dark when they are fully immersed in virtual reality. Now, it's going to be available to buy in the U.S. next year, and it's going to cost about $3,500 U.S. For more on this story, we are joined by Bree McEwen, a professor of communication, culture, information, and technology at the University of Toronto. Bree, thanks for your time this afternoon.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So, okay, how excited should we actually be about Apple's new VR headset compared to the other VR headsets that we've already seen?
Well, I think medium excited might be the way to put it. It's not going to be a consumer device that takes off and everybody has one, but it is a step in the future in terms of the way that you'll be able to interact in mixed reality. And I would say, actually, being able to see the design yesterday and looking at it more today, I would say this is an augmented reality device more so than a virtual reality device, but it does have the potential to do both.
Okay. And what could this mean for immersive technology as well as human interaction?
So we actually are digging into these questions a lot at the lab at ICCIT, and there's kind of two different things going on here because we have different streams of research for VR and AR. And so in terms of virtual reality, if this is an easier, simpler design, then it could remove some of the friction that we see with the current generation of headsets and make it a little bit easier for people to join others in virtual reality environments and have another channel to use instead of sort of the Zoom flat screen or video conferencing, and have something where it feels a little bit more embodied, maybe a little more presence. In terms of AR, you can see the video there with having people in the room and feeling right there with you. But it does bring up some questions about in-person interaction if other people are basically collecting data about that interaction because they have goggles on while you're interacting with them.
Yeah, that sort of leads me into my next question as far as how concerned should we be when it comes to privacy with this emerging and rapidly advancing technology?
So Apple has one of the better track records in terms of encrypting data. They've put some things on their website right away saying, that they need to collect certain kinds of data to make it work, right? You need to have eye tracking. You need to be able to do some things to make the technology functional. And they've said that those things they're going to collect and dump, basically. They won't keep those things around so that they're searchable. But it doesn't mean that an individual couldn't use this to collect data. And I don't think we have the full answers on the type of data that will be stored and saved and could be made available in other places. And I think consumers would be right to be concerned. We've just seen stories about, Ring cameras being accessed by employees. And so now we look at a potential environment where everyone has a video camera on their face in all kinds of places where we're not used to being surveilled.
Certainly. Okay, let's talk about this price point now. So it's set to be released in the U.S. It's roughly $3,500 USD. So that's just shy of 5,000 Canadian. Not exactly, economically speaking, an easy price point for now. But how soon do you expect this to be something as common as someone reaching for their Apple Watch or perhaps their iPhone?
So I think when we think about the price point, it's important to remember what I said about this being an augmented reality device. And the augmented reality headsets have always had a larger price point. Now, we all have an easy device for AR in our pocket, right? A smartphone. In fact, Apple's own AR kit will do augmented reality as well. And so if we look at that price point, well, the Magic Leap is about $3,000 US, so it's not a whole lot more. And Apple's marketing this as the Vision Pro, which means I suspect that they're releasing this so that developers, designers, folks like me with a social VR lab, if my boss will let me buy one, can get their hands on it and start playing with it and start developing programming for it, right? Because you need hardware and software. And then in the future, we could expect to see a device that has an Apple Store within it with all of this programming that's been developed over the next couple of years in the Vision Pro.
Okay, interesting stuff. Bree McEwen, professor at U of T. We have to leave it there, but thank you for your time and chatting with us.
Sure.